It's Rainfurrest 2015! Welcome back!
Yep, I was there. I have seen some misinformation videos made about this con by people who never even attended it. So, I decided to get the perspective from people who were actually there. These are our stories.
Rainfurrest is a convention that I have very fond memories of.
So I was just dancing like normal at Rainfurrest. All of a sudden, my knee's dislocated.
Very permanent memories of.
Rainfurrest 2009 was actually my first convention. I was 18 years old, completely new to the scene, and had no idea what to expect.
It became apparent as the years went on, and even retrospectively, that Rainfurrest was kind of, despite being very fun, was also kind of a shit show.
I think 2015 furry in general was a different time. I think hating on furries, and I think that bullying on furries was a lot easier to do back then.
Rainfurrest 2015 did feel different. There was a lot of partying. There was a lot of things going on. There was just something in the air.
There were a lot of drugs. There were a lot of drugs at that convention. More so than probably any other convention, I guess, if we were to measure it per capita.
And it was one of the main reasons why RF couldn't get another hotel.
What killed Rainfurrest? What was the real problem? Drugs was the major problem.
One of the things that was really glaring about the Rainfurrest 2015, the failure video, was, they showed lots of photos of people at room parties or people passed out on beds and stuff like that. And a lot of those were just harmless photos of their friends, like hanging out with each other or having a drink or two or genuinely just sleeping or cuddling on a bed. It was all extremely harmless. For the most part.
You can't base your experience at a con over 1 year. My favorite year was 2015 because, well, I just graduated university and I was there to have a great time. I was also curious what their most memorable years were.
I think the one that sticks out most to me was actually the one the year before, Rainfurrest 2014. That was the year that I actually came second place in the dance competition.
One of my most fond memories of Rainfurrest is in 2012, where I went to the dance and my knee exploded. By exploded, I mean it dislocated. And I wasn't doing anything complicated. I wasn't breakdancing.
And I don't have medical insurance.
I remember being at the dance when this happened to Adam. It was kind of scary seeing him be wheeled out of the hotel like that.
I'm recording this. Bye, guys.
Furries fucking party hardcore.
The same night that I dislocated my knee. Before my knee injury, I witnessed some random guy had apparently taken some things that did not agree with him. Probably some sort of psychedelics, maybe other things. I have no idea. But I was talking with a friend, and then I see this person running past us from the patio, jumping over the fence, running towards the pool, and then jumping on and attacking somebody else that I knew and clawing at them. And they wound up at a hospital. And then later that night, I dislocated my knee. And they took me to the same hospital. And I looked as they were wheeling me in on the stretcher. I'm like, oh, it's that guy. I think there were 3 ambulances called that night. After the convention, I don't remember the exact timeline, but sometime after the convention, we find out that it's not happening anymore. And I believe the official reasons were because of vandalism.
The hotel in their letter listed 10 to 15 items. Vandalism was not talked about in that letter.
As far as I know, there's a lot of misinformation about what vandalism actually took place.
One thing that I really want to touch on from that video, the failure of Rainfurrest video, there was one point where the person who was narrating it was talking about the fact that somebody allegedly drilled a glory hole into the bathroom stall. It never happened. It truly did never happen. But the framing that the person who made this video uses is just to outrage you. They go so far as to get stock footage to try and prove their point of a drill just going through a piece of wood.
But I'm pretty sure somebody stuffed towels into the hot tub jets and broke the jets.
I can fully see it being an accident when a bunch of adults are running around and, manage themselves as best as they can on alcohol and other substances.
Vandalism like this is not common at furry conventions, so something was up.
And I think that part of the reason why it was with Rainfurrest is because of a small amount of people that should not have been at the convention. They're they are toxic people that have criminal records. So when you're the only convention left that's hosting these people, and I believe a few of them were Seattle locals anyway, every worst person is at the same event.
To defend the staff at Rainfurrest, I actually worked with Trappa, who was one of the main people that ran the con at Vancouver for a long time, and we didn't have these issues. That could be because those same handful of people that were there to cause problems at Rainfurrest couldn't cross the border. Maybe they didn't have a passport. Maybe we just got lucky.
To add to the layers of misinformation, furries are very active on Twitter. That's how a lot of information spreads, and because that's how a lot of information spreads, that's also how a lot of misinformation spreads. When I dislocated my knee in 2012, I remember being at the hospital, opening Twitter, and everyone was saying, somebody got stabbed at the dance.
Furries being such an easy target, I think, is what made it possible for, more people to shout on social media about all these things that were happening, for falsehoods to go around, just because they were easy to dunk on.
You'll notice that in a lot of, let's say, videos and other places that have covered Rainfurrest, you'll notice that there's one Twitter account that shows up multiple times that was somehow able to catch and document so many of these things that were happening that they just so happened to be right in front of. A Twitter user by the name of just made a bunch of shit up. They very clearly bought some diapers from like Walmart and then put it on someone's car, took a picture, and then probably took it off. I don't know if they left it there or not.
We decided to not give the name or show the person who made these tweets. We don't want to give them that type of attention again. That's exactly what they want.
I was following their Twitter account after Rainfurrest, and they would go and do this to other conventions. They had their friend just pose, like turn around, and then like have their hands in front of their crotch, and just be not facing the camera and facing a wall. And then would take a picture, and this would be like in convention space, and the picture caption would be like, someone's peeing in the hotel. And then they get a bunch of retweets, and that's just, they wanted attention, and I guess they're a narcissist.
How do I go into talking about the diaper picture? It's real. It happened. The con tried to defend it by saying that he was coming from like a gear panel or something.
And this guy got bumped into the hallway because there wasn't enough room left in the panel room. He was trying to make his way back into the room to get his pants when somebody caught a picture of him, and he goes back into the room and gets his pants back on and leaves.
But when something like that blows up on the internet, I guess it kind of gives an impression that, like, that's what the convention vibe is, which 99% of people at the convention aren't running into things like that. That was just a thing that happened, and one person took a picture.
And that's what people used Rainfurrest 2015 for, was to make a lot of people angry and make a lot of people look bad. And every furry convention I've been to without fail is completely over-sensationalized online, whereas while I'm at the convention, I have had a wonderful time.
The average person that went to Rainfurrest 2015 or any other year had a normal time at a convention. If I didn't have Twitter, I wouldn't have known that anything went wrong.
Not a clue. I didn't find out till after, like many people, through social media and all that BS.
I had a fantastic time. I was mostly immune and mostly oblivious to a lot of these things that happened, which I'm very grateful for.
At least in the end, there's people in Seattle that are in the hotel business that are willing to host furries there still. At least the reputation for the entire community hasn't been completely destroyed in that area. That's nice.
Many of us have amazing memories from Rainfurrest. And thank you to the con for those moments in our lives.
I still don't know who the diaper guy is.